So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 examples from one of our clients' accounts, which is going to illustrate how Boost follows up with all of the digital leads that we get every single time, regardless of how they get into our system. They go through the same follow-up. The only thing that changes is the conversation based on how the conversation goes with the lead. So the first example we're going to walk through is the happy path. A lead that comes in, starts engaging, actually goes on to book relatively quickly. The 3%. Then we're going to look at an example of a lead that comes in and needed a little bit more joyful persistence. They started engaging at the start, then they went a little quiet, but we managed to get them back on the schedule. And then the last example I'm going to show you is a fantastic example of how valuable speed to lead is. So we plug in a few systems to make that work, but we called this lead 4 minutes after they come into the system and managed to get them scheduled. So on my screen right now is the first lead. This lead comes in July 18th. So you can see though, this lead comes in at 1 a.m. in the morning. And you can see they immediately say, yes, this is who I say I am. And because of the Boost system, we can now immediately go back and start engaging with this lead at 1 a.m. So they go ahead and say they're not an existing patient. They are wondering if we take their insurance. So we're asking them a few questions about, well, okay, it depends on the procedure you're interested in. And then this lead goes quiet at 1:30 a.m., which is not unusual. Very lucky they have gone to sleep. So the next morning, when we get into the office for this client, we call this lead, they pick up, we have an 8-minute conversation, and we go ahead and we get them scheduled. So that's a happy path where I'm talking about a lead that comes in and goes into book relatively quickly. The second example I'm going to walk through is going to show you something a little different, which is a lead that comes in, needs a little bit more attention, a little bit more love, a little bit more education and joyful persistence in order to get on the schedule. So this lead comes in on June 7th at 11:30 in the morning, and you can see them immediately. They go back and forth, having a relatively quick and easy conversation. And you can notice the timestamps. Us being ready when the lead is ready is incredibly important. They then take an hour off replying, but we immediately reply back. This is when they then stop replying. So you can see the next day we give them a phone call, a text message. June 10th, we do the same thing, a phone call, a text message. June 11th, a text message, an email this time, a phone call, another text message that afternoon. June 16th, an email, a phone call, another text message that afternoon. June 17th, just a text message. June 23rd, a phone call, a text message. June 25th, this lead decided, I'm now going to call back. Because when we're texting them and we're calling them, it's coming from the same number. When they call that number back, or when they call that number they're texting, comes to our team. We picked that up 8 o'clock in the morning, 10-minute conversation, and we went and had a fantastic conversation, got them on the scheduling. And then this last example I'm going to show you here is a lead that comes in, and we call them within 4 minutes, and we get them on the schedule. So a lead comes in at 8:58 in the morning. My time zone's PST, so remember that for this example because it will make sense once I finish. They go back and forth and have a conversation, but what you'll see here is that 9:12, so around 10, 15 minutes after they come in, they went ahead and booked. But you don't see a phone call here. And the reason for that is we plug in extra technology into Boost in order to deliver speed to lead every single time. So what I mean by that is we want to make sure that we are calling leads back within under 5 minutes every single time. So we have another system that initiates all of that fun stuff behind the scenes when a new lead comes in. And what I'm going to show you now is that. So if I zoom in here, you can see that phone number, 4930, lines up here, 4930, same person, same name. And you can see that at 11:02, which is Central Time, system works in Central Time. And if you do the math, that is 4 minutes after they come in. We have a 9-minute conversation, and we go and get them scheduled for a consultation. So these are 3 fantastic examples which just illustrate how valuable it is to adhere to speed to lead, not just at the start when they enter the system, but also whenever they're ready to engage, whether that's text, whether that's email. And then also this shows you the value of joyful persistence, following up until they do one of 2 things, whether or not they engage and they let us, they're not ready, they unsubscribe, or they go ahead and book a consultation. That is when we would obviously stop. So great examples. I love seeing these and wanted to share these with you.